It's Sunday. I am a bit more casual today. This became shopping, let's call it encounters with businesses. I want to give over four very different businesses, very different employees in those businesses to illustrate my day, but also illustrate American business at this point. It's not good enough. Two of these businesses deserve to be greatly improved upon. Two of them are doing pretty well despite a lot of obstacles. So let me give you business one with nice employees. That would be Trader Joe's. Well done, Trader Joe's, for their good customer service at every level, manager, clerk, and helpful assistant along the way in the aisles. Dull, or maybe I'll call it dulled, because at Best Buy, I was not allowed into the store. Not just me, but everybody outside this Sunday morning who couldn't shop because our systems are down. Now, this should not prevent people from doing an old-fashioned exercise that's a true win-win. Shop, buy, pay with cash. Any store can still do this. I understand the sophistication that computerized systems that take inventory and deal with different payouts for each thing have to do, but they don't have to do it real time. You can delay a purchase, write down old-fashioned way, post-it note perhaps, ledger about what was sold, what was the price, and that you accepted cash for the items. Nobody would get turned away. Look, at a minimum, they could shop and determine what items they might want to buy should the system return to health in, well, they didn't know. It could have been 20 minutes. It could have been the whole day. So people who made a 20-minute trip might as well at least get their browsing, their possible questions, which often are at an electronic store. Why didn't any of their employees think of this? I think it's because they've been dulled by corporatism. They're bright people, but policy is policy. And if one thing goes awry, modern American big employers anyway don't understand we'll make do. And they're not empowered anyway to make do. How about number three? Well, that would be at an even larger employer named Walmart, which is where I felt compelled to go when Best Buy couldn't serve me. So, yes, I got my corded charger from Walmart. But in the process, I was treated pretty badly by uncaring, minimalist employees. Now, urban stores do have a hard time finding labor in the first place. Puzzling because there's still a high number of unemployed or underemployed people in urban areas. So, as you know, that's a welfare problem from the government. But even within, I think private companies can do better. TJ, Trader Joe's did, okay? I'm not sure that the Trader Joe's people get paid anymore, but they're trained to be nice. They're trained to be responsive. They're trained to be alert to potential problems. Walmart didn't exhibit this, and they rarely do in urban New England. Now, here's something in some urban Walmarts that they unfortunately have to do. They have to be locking their cases. I held up underwear in a prior video because even that apparently gets stolen. These 83-cent items, well, an 8-pack is $7. These items are subject to thievery. And the more expensive stuff, I was looking for electronic stuff, has to be under lock and key, which takes time. Somebody has to be paid to come to that area of the store. Customers have to wait. They're not sure where. And it costs them money because in a given amount of shopping time, most retailers would like people to be continually moving aisle to aisle, picking one thing up after another, especially if the customer has children, because as soon as they go to the next aisle, there's a toy where the child says, I want that. So delaying all of us to merely open something because of a theft problem it's lachrymose. But there's a solution. It's to fight crime. It is to bust perpetrators. Stop this, ooh, it's a bad image. It's a good image to be stopping thieves. It is a good policy to keep them from returning, not just to that Walmart, but to any retailer after they've done time in prison and might be on the watch for monitoring. Probably in this state, they're not going to do any time in prison. Community service is the most they're going to get sentenced to. Well, at least put them on a watch list. In the process, let's get back to that deficiency of employees. Yes, some are dulled. Some aren't very considerate. They might be actually turned on by the thought of catching thieves in the act or afterwards. They're not empowered to do this right now because of, well, bad policy. Maybe you could solve two birds in one stone. All right, final employer is my own. Ivy Bound, the firm I founded, is run by very responsive employees. They're the ones who, even on a Sunday, are manning the phones, in most cases womaning the phones, because we hire moms and grandmas who've had kids go through the system of test prep to get their own kids into college. And they know the ins and outs of what somebody who's calling on a Sunday is going for. Responsiveness, very high. Desire to help the next family, even more than they had for themselves, very high. In 22 years, Ivy Bound, the firm I founded, has had all of 2 clients who said staffers were unresponsive. Okay, less than 1 per decade. In 22 years, not one has said a staffer was not nice. Another, 0, saying, big 0, for uncaring. Another, 0, for unresourceful. A few, not many, but a few have remarked about unhelpful, and in all cases, it was from either the academic director or the owner, me, both being very strident about what we think should be done to help their child, and they weren't ready to hear that. So, mea culpa a little bit, but in the end, our clients have never said, long run, this is a negative. A small, nimble firm does this well across America. Big firms have problems. Yes, there are advantages to big Walmart, big Best Buy, semi-big Trader Joe's. But all of them, if they can act more nimbly, like Ivy Bound, will do well for their customers. Thanks for listening here. I'm Mark Stewart.